Many of you are probably using a beast in your current team, as it is very common to use the plant, beast and a bird setup, but do you actually know what makes your beast bad in the arena and why are you not able to achieve higher levels? Today I'm going to explain you how you can make your beast much better, what cards to look for and what statistics you should focus on when looking for a beast going from low budget all the way to high budget. So let's get into it. Firstly, let's start with a beast that most of you are very familiar with. So this is the Ronin Imp Double Knot. Now this has been very popular for a while now. It is a very cheap combo, high damage beast that also generates some energy, but we can see the I will point out a couple of issues with this beast. Now the Nutcrack together with the Nutcrack deals high amounts of damage, especially into a plant, as just two cards combined will deal about 330 damage, and then the Imp together with the Ronin guarantees critical strike, and then the Imp will generate you energy. But there is a couple of issues. First of all, the eye from a plant makes your beast 40 speed. Why is that an issue? If you are facing the same exact build versus your opponent that is also running a beast and a bird setup, and he has a beast with 41 speed, and you trade your plants, he will go first and he can still use his beast to kill your beast and therefore not give it up as quickly as you have to. So speed is a very important factor that you have to look for when it comes to selecting your beasts. Now another thing is this set of cards is very card dependent. Both of the Nutcracks have to be played together to activate the extra damage. The Ronin has to be played with the Imp, and the Imp has to be played with the Ronin. Otherwise, you're not going to be energy efficient, and then you're not going to take them a maximum amount of damage from the Ronin as well. So one way that you can make this set of cards better is by just increasing this slider right here on the left to 43 speed. Now the price jumps up by about $20, but you have a beast that's much quicker than your opponent's beast at the lower levels. Now why is that important? All you have is an ear from an aqua, but if you are facing a beast that I have just shown you, if someone goes for the cheapest possible beast, he will struggle as you will go first in the arena matches, so you have an advantage right there. Now if you are feeling fancy and you have a little bit more to spend in the lower budget section, you can go for 45 speed. This is the maximum amount of speed possible for a beast with this set of cards. So you have the eye and the ear from an aqua or a bird. This one has 33 health. I would recommend you to go for aqua parts as they have a little bit higher health, and that can sometimes save your life. So 45 speed, the maximum possible speed, and you're also going to be much quicker than most of the Terminators on the lower ranks, because most of the Terminators will be reptiles, and with a beast like this you can destroy those reptiles that are slower than you. Obviously you have to go first before they slow you down. You're not going to be quicker than the max speed Dusk Terminator, but that shouldn't be that much of an issue at the lower ranks. If you like this set of cards, this is something that you want to consider, having the eye and the ear from an aqua, and make it as speedy as you can. If you have a little bit more of a budget, what you can do is look for a mech that has 46 speed. Now we're going to go into mechs in a second, but mech is basically a better version of a beast as it naturally has higher speed. So you can see that mechs can go for 46 and 47 speed. They go up in price a little bit. It is to be expected, $300. I still believe that qualifies for low budget, maybe scratching the surface of mid budget, but mechs are very good when it comes to the speed factor, but I will touch on that a little bit more in the mid budget section. Now the way in which you can make this build a little bit better when it comes to the low budget, again, is not being as card dependent. I've already explained that this set of cards is very card dependent, because you need to have the perfect card draw to be able to play your cards. Now the first thing that you want to remove is the Imp, and then make it a very high damage card that is not card dependent. So you want to go for like something like Dual Blade, Little Branch and Pokey. Those are the highest damage horn cards from a beast, and you can see right here, Little Branch, I believe this one is 125 damage, and you don't really have to combo it with anything. Now the one thing that this build is going to struggle to do is generate energy, so you need to make sure that you build a team that generates energy, something like a plant with leaf bug, or maybe a bird at the back with a 0 cost. Something like that is going to be needed for this build, because you don't have the imp and you're not going to be generating energy, but what you're going to be doing is generating a lot of damage. Another way in which you can make this build better: slide that across to 45 speed, and you can see the price jumps up to $255, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. The dusks are worth considering as well. If that's something that you are interested into. Depends what you are facing in the arena. The dusk is obviously going to counter a lot of the aquas, but I'll talk about that in a second. Another thing that you can change when it comes to this set of cards is removing those nuts. Now, nuts are pretty decent. I would recommend them for someone that's just starting out, because they are easy to navigate. But what you can do is go for the combo of Rice and Gouda. Rice and Gouda is a good set of cards if you want to have a little bit more control in the match, because what they allow you to do is steal energy from your opponent as well as destroy it. So not only do you have high damage, but you have a little bit more utility when it comes to controlling the speed and the pace of the match with the energy steals and destroys. And obviously you can make that 45 speed as well, and the price is going to jump all the way up to $330, but this is a better set of cards for you to consider. And the last set of cards that we're going to be talking about today is the full damage set of cards with hair instead of rice, and then Axie kiss or the nut on the mouth as well, which is the highest possible set of cards. You can see right here, and this one is actually pretty cheap. This one would be worth picking up. The reason why you want to go for a hair is because it's not card dependent. You don't need another nut to play the hair, but because you have 45 speed, if your opponent is not playing a double aqua setup or a bird setup, you're actually going to be able to use this card show, and it's going to be very useful for you in the later stages of the game. And a hair, it's simply high damage, high flat damage, not card dependent. And then you can replace the Ronin if you don't really want to play it because it doesn't fit this card set as much. You can go for something like the Risky Beast, which is another high damage, flat high damage card, but the price is going to jump all the way up to $370 with the mech being 47 speed. It doesn't even have the eye from a beast. You can make it 49 speed, but this is a very high flat damage set of cards. The Axie Kiss, usually you want to combo it with a dual blade. That way, if someone gets you low enough, below 30% health, you're going to apply lethal, and lethal means that your next strike is going to be critical, and dual blade critical strike deals 250% damage. So you always want to keep that in mind when you are going to buy your beast. And this somewhat covers the mid budget. The one thing that I would like to mention right here is you can go for a little bit of a hybrid build with the Ronin if you are feeling fancy, or if your team requires an energy generation card. And the reason I would go for it and the way I would go for it is to have a Nemo on the tail. Some people are not a fan of the Nemo or not a fan of an aqua card on a beast, but what it does is it provides you with higher speed naturally. In order for Ronin to trigger, it needs to be combo with at least 2 additional cards. So you need Ronin and then probably Axie Kiss dual blade, or double Ronin and then like dual blade. But if you have a Nemo, what you can do is generate energy for yourself. Because Nemo is an attacking card, it can also kill last stands efficiently, something that Cottontail cannot do. And the reason why I'm not recommending Cottontail is basically it's not a good card compared to a Nemo, and then it can also proc Ronin effectively. So you can add another card being the Nutcrack and Axie Kiss have similar damage, so it's not really going to be an issue if you just decide to go for the Nutcrack. Now, a lot of aquas are popping right here, and aqua is actually not a bad choice because you can see right here, aqua is 51 speed and a beast is 45 speed. So if you decide to go for an aqua, it has higher speed and it also has higher health. So it actually makes sense to go for an aqua when it comes to selecting your beast for the mid lane. The only downside of playing an Aqua with beast cards is that it's not going to have the extra 10 damage for the class buff. If an Aqua is playing beast cards, it basically doesn't deal extra damage as it doesn't have the cards from its own class. Another thing that you could look into is buying a Dusk, as Dusk is going to counter a lot of your opponent's double Aqua setups, and it also has very high health, high speed. It's just everything that you're looking for, but you can see the prices right here. There's not that many being bred right now. There's only Dusk with double nut setup that you can look for, and it would be a good shout to go for them. Finally, for those of you that have a little bit more ETH on your wallet and want to spend it on an insanely good beast, what you want to do is look for a beast that has very high flat damage, but it also has high speed and a 0 cost. And the way you do it is you go for a hero, you go for a hare, and you go for an Axie together with the dual blade. This is the best set of cards that you can possibly have on a beast, and you go for 45 speed, and you can see the price jumping up quite a lot. Now I'm actually surprised to see this at $427, as just 2 weeks ago these Axies were being sold for about $1,000 each, so they must have been bred quite a lot. Maybe we can see some of them being sold for a reasonably high price. Looks like there's not many of them that have sales, but it looks like someone has taken the courage to breed them massively, and that's why there is a drop in price. But that's good, because this is the best set of cards. You don't have to overpay $1,000 for it. You can just pay a reasonable $420 for this set of cards. Having a hero is very useful, as it helps you clear any stuns, and once you get a little bit higher in the MMR, you're going to be facing a lot of Terminators, a lot of reptiles that have stuns, and you're going to need a way to clear them. And so hero is very good when it comes to doing that job. And then if you are facing a double anemone at the front, it's also going to allow you to draw a card and finish off any last stands and stuff like that. So this is just a good set of cards. You can also go for the Shiba if you don't really care about the hair. Shiba is probably going to be cheaper. It looks like there's not many Shibas available right now. And the other way how you can make this a high budget Axie is going for the 47 speed on a mech. Now this price jumps up quite a bit, all the way to $600, but having 47 speed is crucial. You can play this mech right at the back, and you're gonna go in front of the best Terminators possible, which are the Dusk Terminators with 46 speed. So this is quite a good set of cards, and the only thing that I would really recommend you look into is Dusks and Aquas. Those can be very, very good, as they have similar speed to a mech, but they also have higher health. But you can see there's not many available of them on the market, but there should be some that have like a Nemo, maybe like a Knot or an Axie, and then the dual blade Ronin combo. Those should be available as Aquas, and they still go for a little bit more. You probably want the 51 speed ones, but you can see the price being at $500. But the 10 health does make a difference, especially in the arena. So hopefully this video has given you a couple of ideas how you can select the best beast possible for your team, and how you can base it upon your budget. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel to see more daily Axie Infinity content, and then comment down in the comment section down below what you would like to see next, and I will see you in the next one.